Welcome, friends. Today we will discuss about where to invest, balanced advantage fund or balanced fund. This question arises as we have discussed about both the funds in our last two videos. Then some people asked me which one is better, whether we should choose balanced fund or balanced advantage fund. So let us little bit deep dive and try to discuss what are the similarities, what are the differences, and then we will be able to reach to some sort of conclusion. If we have this expectation or this risk appetite, then we can go with this scheme or that scheme. So first of all, what is balanced fund? As we have seen in last video, both this balanced fund and balanced hybrid fund, balanced advantage fund, are hybrid fund only. Both the schemes invest in both debt and equity. Yes, of course, the proportion of investment are different. So this is the basic difference. In the case of balanced fund, they invest in hybrid fund as already shown to you or told to you. But the investment proposition or composition will be 60-40. It will be static. In the case of balanced fund, it is static. Either it will be 60% equity and 40% debt, or 40% equity and 60% debt. So these are predefined asset allocation, and accordingly balanced fund invest, and their mandate like that only. Of course, they have their this downsizing capped with debt proposition, debt portion, and equity growth from equity portion. So now, in the case of advantage or balanced advantage fund, they also invest in both equity and debt, but here there is no predefined formula or asset allocation set rule. As per market condition, fund manager can decide to invest in how much in debt and how much in equity. They can go to any percentage. It depends upon fund manager. There is no limitation fixed for 60, 70, 80, or 90, whatsoever. It depends upon only fund manager, whether they want to go all along with equity or debt or have mixture of both. Even they have advantage of going with arbitrage in the case of that market, a static market, you can say, and get advantage of those situations. So these are the basic formula which we have understood earlier also, or basic things we studied. Now let us see similarities. As we have discussed all along so many times, both are hybrid fund only. And of course, their investment for mandate or objective are little bit different. But main objective is to invest both in equity and debt and get a balanced return. Of course, it will not get equity type of return, but better than debt fund in the both cases, and have downside capped with investment in debt funds. Yes, of course, there is associated risk in both cases, as equity part is subject to market condition, and debt part is subject to risk like default risk, rate, rate risk, liquidity risk. So this depends on this. So there are similarity in both. Now, see another part. One another thing is both are diverse in nature. This is the similarity. Diverse. Why I'm telling you diverse? Because they both invest in equity market and debt market. And its objective is to giving risk reward balance through growth and fixed income. Both this limited downside. So these are the similarities. Another similarity is both are good for 3 to 5 years tenure. If it is more than three and up to five, it is wonderful. Even more, no problem. Now let us see difference. What are the difference? The first difference in asset allocation itself. In the case of balanced fund, asset allocation will be 60%, 40% rule. If it is in 60% in equity, then 40% will be debt, or vice versa. It can be 40% equity and 60% debt. So only 20% can be tweaked either side, not more than that. So first difference is here. In the case of balanced dynamic fund, there is no fixed rule or fixed formula. Equity portion can go to any percentage, maybe 80, 90, 100. It is up to fund manager only. And even debt portion can go to any percentage. Again, if market is flat, sideways, and not going anywhere, even in that condition, if there is difference in pricing, spot market and derivative market, they can take advantage and invest in arbitrage and earn. So this is asset allocation difference. Second is rebalancing. Let us open our this rebalancing asset composition. Just now we have discussed. They can rebalance. In both cases, they can rebalance. But in the case of balanced fund, they can tweak from 60 to 40 only or 40 to 60. That means 20% can be tweaked only in the case of balanced fund. If 60% is equity, they can tweak to 40% equity, and then from 40 to 60, it will go debt. In the case of balanced advantage, there is no fixed rule for rebalancing of asset composition. They can go anywhere. Both equity and debt can go anywhere. Even there can be a arbitrage portion, and it can be up to any proposition, composition, maybe 30%, 40%. It depends upon fund manager only. Third thing is fund objective. Here also there is a difference. In the case of balanced fund, its main objective is to provide stability and long-term growth. Where in the case of balanced advantage, their objective is to provide return and of course higher return. One thing. Second difference is in the case of balanced fund, they cannot fit much even if market is in adverse condition. But in the case of balanced advantage, they can tweak to any position. One more Fund objective is to beat market volatility. In the case of balanced advantage, it is more pronounced and it can beat market volatility. In the case of balanced advantage, if market is in favorable condition, even though they can invest maximum 60% in equity, cannot go beyond that. 40% minimum they will have to have in debt fund. But in the case of balanced advantage fund, if market condition is favorable, if market is rising from below, then they can take advantage of this situation and invest to maximum up to 100% maybe and get advantage of this position. Now, accordingly, return will be more in the case of balanced advantage because there is no limit for growth as they can invest more in equity. Whereas in the case of balanced advantage, this will be limited. This cannot be throughout only in equity. So this will be limited. Now, risk. Of course, both are associated risk as they invest in equity. So equity is subject to market risk. So that risk will be there in both cases. And as far as debt portion is concerned, there is also risk of default, credit risk, rate risk, and of course liquidity risk. So associated risk will be there. But in the case of balanced advantage, little bit less risky we can say, as they have flexibility to allocate fund and to run from invest this risky to another part as per market condition. Now, last is tax treatment. Balanced advantage fund is treated as equity because all the in the market condition they are investing more than 65% or fund managers try to invest more in equity side even if market condition is not so favorable they can invest in arbitrage available arbitrage and that is also treated as a equity. So tax treatment will be as per equity and hence it is more tax efficient. In the case of short-term capital gain, there will be 15% tax. And if it is long-term, that means more than 1 year, if this is redeemed, then there will be 10% capital gains. Of course, with 1 lakh rebate. If capital gains are more than that, then only it will be taxable. But in the case of balanced fund, it is treated as a debt fund because maximum allocation is 60%. To qualify for equity treatment, it should be minimum 65%, which is not there. So, for short term, as per our or anyone respective slab, income slab, that will be taxed. In the case of long term, that means more than 3 years, then 20% will be taxed with indexation benefit. So this is the tax treatment differences. So which one to choose? Now this more prominent question is this: which one should we choose? In my view, balanced fund suitable for conservative investors and whosoever having risk averse, less risky, and long-term view, they should go with balanced fund, especially the senior citizens. In the case of balanced advantage fund, the investor should be with moderate high risk takers, high risk appetite. I'm telling you moderate high risk because it is not fully in equity, so it is moderate high risk. So any investor who have moderate high risk can invest in balanced advantage fund and expect more return than balanced fund. In the both the cases, it is good for long-term wealth creation, suitable for that. But balanced advantage required more long-term in comparison to balanced advantage because their investment composition is fixed, asset allocation is fixed, cannot go one-sided. But in the case of balanced advantage, it can be bent or tilted one-sided. So even if not more than 3 years, less than 3 years, also we can have some stable return. And of course, this balanced advantage, we have associated risk. So moderate risk takers can go with this. Now, the third question is expense ratio, which is also to be considered while investing. In the case of balanced fund, there is less expense ratio, but balanced advantage, there is more expense ratio. And on this parameter, balanced fund is more favorable and balanced advantage fund is less favorable. So we have given you clear parameter whether you are a conservative investor or moderately high risk appetite investor, you should decide. Of course, if you will go with balanced advantage, you will get more return, but same time you should take care of expense ratio also. If you find some value in this course, please do like to this video and share your valuable comments. I read all the comments and if something there to comment, I will comment here. If you want to cover any topic of your choice related to a stock market, mutual fund, you can write so that I can take them those topics in coming videos. Please do share with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get advantage of this. And don't forget to subscribe if not subscribed so far so that you can get instant notification whenever I'm posting new videos. Thank you. Bye.